Hello, my name is Wesley Hara. First and foremost, I am actually the Engineering Transfer Center Director here at UCLA Samuele, so I work with all of the engineering transfer students. But I wear a second hat because I love working with all of the organizations as the Engineering Student Organization Coordinator. And so I'm here to assist Associate Dean Wessel and Associate Dean now Greg Potty in being able to help support all of the student organizations in the school. So first, I want to congratulate all of our newly elected officers and welcome you to academic year 2022-23, and just say that I look forward to working with all of you through the year. Okay, so I am here today to talk a little bit about affiliating with the School of Engineering, and so hopefully you're able to see my slide set. Okay, so what is this presentation all about? So we're going to talk a little bit about what the benefits are to all of the organizations that affiliate with the School of Engineering. There are some eligibility requirements as well as responsibilities as good community members of our school. And this just kind of helps us to make sure that our organizations are in compliance, and so there isn't anything that's going to put a stop to your activities, as well as make sure that we're representing all of you appropriately. Okay, I'll go into this a little bit more in detail, but we also want to provide at this point who the affiliated engineering organizations are, and so that some of you may be able to take action between now and the start of the year to become affiliated with the school. All right, so I want to kind of start off with the benefits of being an affiliated organization with the School of Engineering. And so as an affiliate, you get all of this stuff, okay? So first and foremost is applying for and or occupying space in the school. And so last year was the first time in many years that we hosted a call for applications for organizations who are wanting to occupy space in the school. And we'll do that every couple of years. But you do need to be an officially affiliated organization to be able to occupy space in the school and or apply for future use, okay? In addition to that, you get to use school resources, and there are a number of them, okay? One in particular that's, I think, really important is reserving rooms, okay, for all of your events and your meetings and activities. So room managers in the school and departments are going to be receiving a list of these affiliated organizations, and they will be providing access based on that list. Okay, so you do need to be an affiliate in order to reserve space for your activities and meetings in the school and departments, okay? Many of you are already aware of this, but the UCLA Engineering and Alumni Association typically from year to year has a fund that provides awards to student organizations for design work that they may be doing through the academic year. And so they will also be getting a list of the affiliated School of Engineering organizations. And so this is a benefit for those of you who are to be able to apply for that funding, okay, should it be available. In addition to that, you're also going to be included and invited to participate in the school-wide activities. First is the XCOM and the Student Leaders Meeting, which is a really great opportunity for our organizations to communicate with one another and then also provide feedback to the school on the things that you guys need and ways that we can support you, okay? The student leaders meeting with Associate Dean Wessel is also the way to be able to get important information from the school that impacts or involves the student organizations. And so, only the affiliate organizations are going to be able to be a part of this process of giving and receiving information from these various communities, okay? In addition to that, Engineering Welcome Day is a real high-profile event for our incoming students. It's a great recruiting tool because the admitted students are here, and it's now the time for our student organizations to say, hey, come and join us. And we'll be only extending invitations for EWD to the affiliated organizations, okay? Another big high profile event is Discover, which happens later in the spring quarter. But effectively, another way to look at it is you need to be affiliated so we know to invite you, right? And we can send that communication to you, okay? And so, this is a benefit of being an affiliate with the School of Engineering, okay? In addition to that, we're going to only be adding the organizations that are affiliated with the school on the school's website, okay? And so that website is kind of key in being able to provide, like the outside world access to being able to know about the student organizations, so the existence, right? And then how to get in touch with you or how to learn more about you, right? And so, students outside of the university are going to be looking at that when they're thinking about what colleges to attend to. External affairs is going to use that website to point donors and industry partners, to your organization. And so you'll want to make sure that you're included on that webpage and that your information is current, okay? Another benefit for affiliating with the school is that you get to apply for the Student Organization of the Year competition. And this is a great, I think, like competitive yet friendly competition that gets to highlight, the cool things that all of the organizations do. And you can compete for the Org of the Year. Anyway, so only affiliated organizations will get to do that. And then as a part of one of the responsibilities as an affiliate, you'll need to fill out an annual report. And so you'll provide us with information that will get included in the all student organization report. And so this is a culmination of all, between 40 and 70 professional engineering organizations and student design teams in one report. And so that, the outside world, our administration, can really see collectively what the student organizations are doing and how it enriches our community and the student experience here at UCLA Engineering, okay? As a part of that, and I'll kind of go through this a little bit later in another section, but you also as an organization will have an avenue to tell us what kinds of things you guys need, right? Whether that be some help getting through a policy or understanding a policy, or, trying to find some funding for an activity that you're wanting to create, okay? So again, these are the benefits of affiliating with the school. And it's important to note that if you are not an affiliate, then these things you are not eligible for, okay? So I talked a little bit about the eligibility and responsibilities. And so first and foremost, I want to say we're here to help, okay, if you need assistance with this. But the School of Engineering really wants to support organizations and students within the school that are really helping, to uplift or to support the UCLA Samuel A. Engineering community, okay? And so here's some general guidelines: an organization that provides social, professional development, networking, training, and or honors to your membership that's contributing to the UCLA Samuel A. Engineering community. These are some metrics that we're asking for our organizations to have, and that is an executive board made up of at least 50% or more engineering students, as well as a membership consisting of 50% or more engineering students, okay? Again, if you're not there on some of these things, please reach out to us and we'll help. Probably the most important thing is that we do need your organization to have a faculty advisor that is from the School of Engineering, okay? And it's really important for us that there's somebody within the school that's advocating for your organization with your department or with the school. And so we're asking for all of our organizations to have a faculty advisor who's willing to play that role for your organization, okay? In addition to that, I think like a lot of the organizations are now doing design activities where you're working with tools, possibly chemicals, stuff that can cause not just bodily injury, but a big impact, right, to the school, right, to the environment. People are coming and going here and have to work and study here. And so it's really important that you have a faculty advisor who's probably going to be the best versed to be able to provide guidance and advocate for needs for your student organization, okay? So these are the eligibility requirements to be an affiliate with the School of Engineering, okay? In addition to that, there's some responsibility. And so first and foremost is the Engineering Leadership Workshop, which includes the lab and space safety training, which is going to happen later in September, okay? But these workshops they're really meant to be able to provide all of you information, particularly on like the business processes or expectations or compliance issues, right? So that you're aware of these things and they don't become, the thing that is going to keep you from being able to, make a purchase and get reimbursed, or having your lab shut down, your space shut down because you're out of compliance, right? And so we wanted to provide this information upfront so that you can understand what the expectations of the university are, to be able to help you with your activities, particularly when it involves, getting the specific departments involved, or anyway. So all of this information is going to be posted on the Student Leaders Guide, and together with ESAC, we'll be working on making sure that information is current. And I do ask all of you to let us know, right, if things seems out of date or something changed, because that happens throughout the year, for us to go ahead and update the information on there so that it's accurate for our student organization leaders community, okay? The part that I didn't mention is, in addition to all of these policies and instructions that we're providing to you, our expectation is that you're adhering to those policies and upholding them, for your student organization, okay? The next thing is that we do want you attending at least the quarterly student leaders meeting with Associate Dean Wessel. XCOM is definitely important as well. But the quarterly student leaders meeting is really, I feel like, the school and department's avenue to, provide important information to our organizations for the quarter, as well as asking some important questions from all of you to get feedback, right, from the organizations. And so the quarterly student leaders meeting is really kind of a communication avenue, right, between the school and the student organizations. And so we do want you to be attending those meetings, which typically happen, I think, in the second week, the Friday of the second week of each quarter, okay? The next responsibility is to complete and submit the annual report on behalf of your organization. And this just provides us information on what you guys do, throughout the year, so that we can properly represent the organizations when we're speaking about you to alumni and to donors and industry partners who are interested in learning more and possibly supporting all of you. So there is going to be a separate section on the Student Leaders Guide with some video recordings of what the annual report entails, and what information we're collecting. But the final responsibility is to make sure that we have the accurate contact list for your officers. We need to be communicating effectively, and that won't happen if we have the incorrect email addresses for your officers, okay? And so it is a responsibility of the organization to make sure that our contact list is up to date, okay? So that's the eligibility and responsibilities. I wanted to cover a little bit about the annual report and contact list, so that people kind of understand, throughout the year what to expect. We will be asking the organizations to review and update their contact list quarterly, okay? But if at any given point your contact list changes, there is an avenue for a designated officer to be able to update that at any time, okay? And we can go into that in more detail in the contact list and annual report section of the training. But just to give you a snapshot of the annual report, so in March, we're going to be releasing the form, likely at the student leaders meeting. And so at that point, you'll get to actually see the data points that we're going to be asking you to respond to, okay? In May is when the annual report is due. And you're going to see that I listed week 7 or 8 of spring quarter. And part of that purpose is because we want to be able to review your annual report for the Student Org of the Year competition, right? The annual report becomes a mechanism for your organization to apply for Student Org of the Year, okay? And so we need that to happen before the end of the quarter, okay? This is particularly important because I know for many of the design teams, there are actually competitions that come up around the end of spring quarter, okay? And so my ask at this point is to make sure that it is on your calendar, that you're aware of when the deadline is, so that you're working ahead of that to be able to complete it, by the actual deadline in May, okay? In June, we'll put out a call to make sure that we received all of the updated officer contacts, so that we can create an official contact list for our student organizations, and we can start to communicate with the following year's officers about activities that may start even in the summer. Okay, so who needs to do this? All of the UCLA engineering affiliated organizations, and it's generally the responsibility of the president, incoming and outgoing, to complete the annual report. Okay, so I wanted to share this also because it might be helpful for you to know what kinds of things that you're going to have to report on in the annual report. And so there are a number of different sections that we're asking for, and probably one of the things that you could do now is to set up a mechanism to keep track of the demographics of your membership, right? We're gonna want to know like how many members you have, right, in your big professional organization, as well as all of your project teams, right? We want to know where they're from, and so what are their majors, right? Like particularly interested to know what department they come from, and then also to see if there are some students who are joining your organization from outside of engineering as well, right? And so through the year it becomes easier if you set up now a mechanism to collect some of this information rather than waiting until May and then trying to remember back, right, to August, of all the people that work with your organization or are part of your organization. Okay, we want to know about your competition awards and recognitions. We want to know your impact on your membership, the UCLA engineering campus, and the broader community. We're interested in your equity and diversity initiatives, your outreach activities, and accessibility efforts. We want to know, a little bit about your alumni and industry relations, any activity with alumni and industry, and then certainly if you received any donated funds. And that just helps us to be in the know, because our external affairs crew is working very, very hard, right, at trying to be able to provide support and awareness of the student organizations. And it's really not fun to talk to a donor who has donated to the student organizations and external affairs does not know about it. Okay. And so we want to collect some of this information just so that kind of we're in the know of the activities with regard to alumni and industry. Okay. We want to know about your organizational growth from year to year. And then there's an opportunity again for you to request support and feedback and provide feedback to the school. And then this is something that you can implement now, is we want to have a list of all of the activities that you've done. Okay. And then included in that list is going to be, we want, the number of participants, right, that either participated or were impacted by your activities. And then a brief summary, and we're talking like 2 to 3 sentences of what that activity is. Okay. And so if you can work with your officers and your project teams to implement that through the year and collect that information, then it won't become a mountain of a task to recall, right, that information at the end of the year. Okay, so this is just a quick glimpse into what the annual report and contact list is, so that you can kind of think about how you might prepare now, right, to collect this information to more easily submit it at the end of the year. Okay, so I promised you a list of all of the organizations that are currently affiliated with the School of Engineering. And so these are all of the organizations. I'm going to go through them quickly because sometimes it's hard to read the slides. So we have AIAA, including your Design, Build, Fly, Rocket Project, Unmanned Aerial Systems, and BSG. We have ASCE, including your project teams, Concrete Canoe, Concrete Solutions, Construction Management, Environmental Design, GeoWall, Seismic Design, Surveying, Sustainability Solutions, Timber Strong Design, Transportation Design, and Steel Bridge. We have ACM and project teams AI, Cyber, Design, Hack, ICPC, Studio, Teach, and ACMW. BMES is here, BEAM is here, Chi Epsilon, Crux at UCLA, Design Create Solar, ESUC, IEEE, Institute of Transportation Engineers, Mentor Cs, National Society of Black Engineers, Queer Hacks, Bruin Racing, SAE, including Baja, Formula, Super Mileage, SOLAS, and Society of Women Engineers. Okay, if you do not see your organization or project team on this list, you are not going to be on the list that is sent out to the school administrators, room managers, as the affiliated organizations. Okay, so if you do not see your organization or project team listed here, again, these are the eligibilities and responsibilities. And I want to say that, like, for a lot of you, it's the fact that we haven't received an annual report and or an updated contact list. Okay. But if you would like to figure out what you're missing, you can contact Emika, ESUC president, at esuc.ucla.president@gmail.com. And she and I will work together to figure out what it is that you need to do to become an affiliate with the School of Engineering. Okay. All right. That is the end of my presentation. You can email me directly if you have any questions or concerns. Or again, you can contact Emika. So my email address is wuehara@seas.ucla.edu. So again, I want to say congratulations on being elected as the student leaders of your organization here at UCLA Samueli. I look forward to working with all of you, and have a great day.